Have you ever wondered if the things we receive from others might unknowingly drag us down? Sometimes words, expectations, or even seemingly harmless gifts carry hidden negativity, creating an invisible burden we fail to recognize. Life is not just about giving and receiving, but also about mastering the art of choosing what is worth accepting. In Stoic philosophy, this concept holds deep meaning. We have the right to refuse, to protect our minds from things that can disturb our inner balance. You cannot control the outside world, but you can control how you react to it. Stoicism teaches us that protecting our peace of mind is not only about what we do, but also about what we reject. By being mindful of what we accept, we preserve our freedom and avoid being tied down by the expectations, comparisons, and guilt that others may impose on us. In this video, we will explore 9 things you should never accept from anyone. These are things that can erode your inner strength, cause you to lose control, and pull you into a cycle of unimportant matters. Stoicism will help you see more clearly and grow stronger, allowing you to keep only what truly has value and is worthy of your inner peace. Number 1. The unsolicited opinion trap. The trap of unsolicited opinions is one of the most subtle challenges we all face in life. How many times have you received advice, judgments, or suggestions that you didn't ask for? While these opinions may come from a place of kindness or goodwill, they often carry negativity and imposition and lead us astray. Stoic philosophy, with its deeply practical approach, teaches us that protecting our minds from unwanted influences is key to maintaining inner peace. When we allow unsolicited opinions to penetrate our minds, we risk losing our autonomy because we start focusing on things beyond our control. Other people's judgments can unintentionally suffocate our self-confidence, making us doubt ourselves. We need to ask ourselves, do these opinions come from a deep understanding of our circumstances and values, or are they merely reflections of the personal views of those offering them? In modern life, especially on social media, the trap of unsolicited opinions appears more frequently and easily than ever before. A simple personal post or career update can attract countless comments from people who don't fully understand the context but are quick to offer their judgments. Take the example of someone starting their own business, filled with passion and enthusiasm. Instead of receiving encouragement, they may be bombarded with opinions like, "Now's not the right time," "Think about safety," or "You don't have enough experience," "This is too risky." While possibly given with good intentions, these remarks are often not based on a deep understanding of the person's plans, determination, or circumstances. If the individual isn't steadfast, they might start doubting themselves, worrying about the risks they had already carefully prepared for. Similarly, someone trying to make lifestyle changes, such as eating healthier or exercising regularly, may encounter criticism from those around them. Phrases like, "You don't need to do that," or "Why not try this easier way?" are common. The person offering the unsolicited advice often speaks from their perspective, without truly understanding the process or goals of the individual making the change. This can create frustration and discouragement, making the person feel judged or unsupported, leading them to question whether they're on the right path. In both examples, Stoic philosophy reminds us of an essential truth. Unsolicited judgments or advice often reflect more about the giver than the receiver. Therefore, it's crucial to learn how to separate ourselves from unwarranted opinions, maintain our autonomy, and focus on our personal goals. In moments like these, we need to remember, we have the power to choose what we allow into our minds. Stoicism encourages us to stay firm in our beliefs and not let unfounded judgments shake our spirits. By steering clear of the trap of unsolicited opinions, we not only protect our self-control, but also remain focused on the path that truly matters to us. Number 2, the dangerous gift of other people's expectations. Have you ever felt like you're living someone else's life just to meet their expectations? Expectations from family, friends, and society, what might seem like signs of care and support, can become an invisible burden that weighs heavily on our minds and hearts. It's like receiving a carefully wrapped gift only to find inside pressure, fear of failure, and the constant feeling of never being enough. Stoic philosophy teaches us a valuable lesson about rejecting this toxic gift because it doesn't bring freedom, but rather pulls us into a life controlled by others. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, reminded us, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. But how can we maintain our autonomy when faced with constant expectations from all sides? Have you ever asked yourself, am I doing this because it's truly my dream and goal, or simply to please others? Living in the shadow of others' expectations can cause us to lose ourselves, always feeling inadequate and never finding true fulfillment. We see this clearly in the story of Jesus in the Bible. When society placed countless expectations on him, wanting him to be a powerful king, a savior in their terms, Jesus didn't succumb to those demands. He followed his path and focused on the higher purpose he believed in, despite the criticism and misunderstanding from those around him. This is what made Jesus great and offers us a profound lesson. Only by letting go of unnecessary expectations can we truly live authentically. In today's world, we often face similar pressures. Expectations to succeed, to live a perfect life by society's standards, can leave people feeling helpless and empty. But remember, as Jesus and Epictetus taught us, true happiness doesn't come from pleasing others, but from living in alignment with our values and goals. Join the conversation in our comment section. Are you ready to let go of the expectations that don't belong to you and start living the life you truly want? We'd love to hear your story. Number 3, the hidden burden of favours with ulterior motives. In life, we often receive help and kindness from others. But have you ever wondered if those favours come with an invisible price tag or an unspoken expectation? When we accept help without thoroughly considering the motives behind it, we risk becoming entangled in a web of obligations, where our freedom and inner peace slowly become captive to hidden interests. When we rely on and accept too much from others, especially favours with unclear motivations, we inadvertently give away our autonomy. Perhaps you've experienced this before, accepting what seemed like unconditional help, only to later realise that the giver expects repayment in a way and at a time of their choosing. Do you ever feel as if you've become indebted, not just materially, but mentally, as you face these unspoken demands? A common example in life is found in work or family relationships. Your boss might offer a promotion or additional support, but with the expectation that you will remain loyal or work extra hours without complaint. Or in families, some parents offer help to their children not purely out of unconditional love, but with the expectation that the children will follow the path they desire, even if it's not what the child wants. Such favors, which seem like blessings, often turn out to be invisible burdens, weighing down our freedom and happiness. So how can we avoid falling into this trap? We must carefully consider any help we receive and ask ourselves, are the motives behind this truly pure? Are there hidden conditions that I'm not seeing? Stoicism advises us to live independently and not to rely too heavily on others, to protect our inner peace and mental freedom. Only when we maintain control over our own lives, free from the strings attached to conditional favors, can we truly walk the path of freedom and wisdom. Number 4. Constant negativity. Constant negativity is a silent yet incredibly dangerous enemy to the human soul. It's like a small stream of water that, over time, erodes the strength, peace, and hope we once had. Stoic philosophy reminds us of the importance of controlling our minds and not letting external circumstances or continuous negative emotions pull us into a spiral of pessimism and suffering. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers and emperors, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When faced with ongoing negativity, have you ever asked yourself, why do we allow negative forces to infiltrate our lives? It could come from criticism, others' disapproval, or even our self-doubt. But in reality, negativity doesn't stem from circumstances. It comes from how we allow our minds to be swept into it. Imagine a person who constantly complains about everything, their job, family, or society. Not only do they make themselves miserable, but they also affect those around them, creating a stifling and exhausting environment. Focusing on the negative creates a loop that becomes harder to escape from over time. A clear example of modern life is the environment on social media. It's not difficult to encounter negative comments, attacks, and judgments made without a deep understanding of the actual situation. This behavior not only harms the person receiving it, but also contributes to a widespread culture of negativity. However, a Stoic must understand that we have the power to control our reactions. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Ask yourself, what would happen if we refused to entertain negativity and instead focused on positive actions, and what is within our control? By not allowing negativity to take root in our minds, we can find inner peace. A person can change their entire life by simply choosing not to absorb the negativity from the world around them. Thus, as the Stoic philosophers have pointed out, true strength lies in the ability to control our minds. By rejecting negativity, we are building a strong, serene, and resilient soul, one that remains unshaken by the storms of life. Next, let's move on to secret number 4. But before that, I have a question for you. Have you ever felt that your worth is only validated when recognized by others? It's a feeling we've all experienced, the desire to be praised, acknowledged, to feel important in the eyes of others. But does that recognition truly bring lasting happiness, or is it just a fragile, fleeting illusion? Number 5. The dangerous illusion of external validation. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "If you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity. If you need a witness, be your own. It's true, we often fall into the trap of evaluating our self-worth based on praise and acceptance from others. But ask yourself, if one day no one applauds you anymore, will you still feel valuable? When we rely on external validation, we unintentionally hand over our emotions and self-esteem to things beyond our control. Look at modern life, particularly on social media, where recognition from others has become a common measure of worth. Someone posts a beautiful picture, hoping to receive hundreds of likes and compliments. When the response isn't what they expected, feelings of disappointment and doubt creep in, leading them to question their value. This is the exact trap Stoicism warns us about. External recognition is never a solid foundation for building personal worth. Relying on it can pull us into a cycle of anxiety and insecurity. Consider the life of Robin Williams, a talented comedian and actor who brought joy and laughter to millions around the world. Robin Williams received endless recognition from the public and critics alike for his brilliant performances, with awards and constant praise. On the surface, he seemed to have it all: fame, fortune, and admiration from millions of fans. Yet, behind the bright lights, Williams struggled with feelings of loneliness and disconnection, eventually facing depression and tragically ending his life. Robin Williams's story reveals a harsh truth. No amount of external validation, no matter how grand, can bring inner peace. He reached the heights many people dream of, but still couldn't find real happiness, because personal value can never be measured by applause or praise. This underscores the lesson that Stoic philosophy has taught for thousands of years. Happiness and fulfillment do not come from the approval of others, but from living true to your values. These examples show that only when we abandon the dangerous illusion of seeking external recognition can we truly achieve happiness and live a meaningful life on our terms. We want to thank and congratulate you for making it halfway through today's video. Your presence here shows that you are fully committed to this journey. Now, let's turn your attention to the remaining 4 principles to pause and reflect on during your journey of self-improvement. Number 6. The invisible weight of unfair comparison. Have you ever felt like you're not good enough when you look at the success of others? This feeling of comparison, which seems like a natural human reflex, is one of the greatest mental burdens we place on ourselves. Stoic philosophy teaches that this unfair comparison is meaningless and dangerous, as it pulls us away from our path and causes us to lose our inner peace. When we constantly compare ourselves to others, we forget that each person has their journey, context, and challenges. Comparison only brings a lack and dissatisfaction because we can never control those external factors. Have you ever asked yourself, does someone else's success really diminish your worth, or is it just an illusion that you've unknowingly imposed on yourself? In today's world, comparison doesn't just come from social media. It happens daily in work, school, and family environments. Imagine you're in a work meeting and a colleague is praised for their exceptional performance. You might feel inadequate, wondering why you haven't achieved the same, even though you've worked just as hard. But what you may not know is that this colleague may have faced tremendous pressure, worked overtime, and sacrificed personal time with family and their health to achieve that result. This comparison is often unfair because everyone has different circumstances, abilities, and paths, You might not see the sacrifices that person had to endure or the struggles they overcame to reach success. Meanwhile, you may excel in your role, but because of comparison, you feel inadequate. This is the trap that Stoicism warns us about when we compare ourselves to others without knowing the full story. We create unnecessary feelings of dissatisfaction and insecurity. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your journey. Someone else's success is not an obstacle to yours. It's an opportunity for you to reflect on where your true value lies. When we learn to appreciate what we have, our qualities, experiences, and efforts, we feel lighter and freer. Unfair comparison is an invisible burden that we create ourselves, and only by letting it go can we move forward with confidence and peace. Instead of looking at others, ask yourself, what have I accomplished? Where can I improve? This question will guide you toward true personal growth. Number 7. The prison of unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice, although it often seems to come from a place of care, can easily become a burden. Such advice can make us feel scrutinized, judged, and deprived of autonomy. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that we should only focus on what we can control, and not every piece of advice needs to be listened to or acted upon. When others offer advice we haven't asked for, it's more than just an intrusion into our personal lives. It can create the feeling that we aren't good enough or capable of making our own decisions. Unwanted advice, even if well-intentioned, often feels more like imposition than true help. Have you ever wondered why others so often assume they know what's best for you, even when they don't fully understand your specific circumstances? In modern life, unsolicited advice is everywhere. Imagine someone who decides to become vegetarian to improve their health and live more responsibly towards the environment. They've done thorough research and believe it's the right path for them. As soon as they share this decision with others, they are bombarded with advice. Friends, family, and even people who have never tried a vegetarian lifestyle may chime in with comments like, "You won't get enough nutrients," "You'll lack protein," or "Why bother? Just eat in moderation." The key issue here is that those giving advice often don't understand the thoughtful decision-making process behind the person's choice. They don't grasp the personal, scientific, or ethical reasons that were carefully considered. Instead of asking questions to understand, they jump in with judgments based on their limited perspective. This creates what can be seen as the prison of unsolicited advice, where others' opinions become obstacles, making it harder to pursue your chosen path. Famous figures also deal with this all the time. Elon Musk, founder of Tesla and SpaceX, often faces criticism and receives endless advice on how to manage his companies, develop technology, or even live his personal life. Yet, Musk doesn't let these opinions dictate his path. He remains steadfast in his goals and vision despite external criticism. This is a clear example of Stoic philosophy in action, focusing only on what you can control and ignoring factors that don't truly matter to your journey. When we allow unsolicited advice to penetrate our minds, we begin to be influenced and confined in a prison built by others' ideas. To maintain inner freedom and peace, we must learn to distinguish between advice that brings real value and advice that should be disregarded. Have you ever wondered why quick fixes often fail to bring lasting results? This might sound concerning, But take comfort in knowing that Stoic philosophy holds the secret to reclaiming it all. Lesson number 8. The mirage of quick fixes. Number 8. The mirage of quick fixes. In modern society, we are often tempted by promises of instant change, quick weight loss, get-rich-quick schemes, or overnight success. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us that the most valuable things in life require time and patience to achieve. The illusion of quick fixes not only deceives us about the results, but also erodes our patience and perseverance, two core elements for achieving sustainable success. Our minds and spirits are like muscles that need regular training. We can't become strong, wise, or reach great goals overnight. Yet, people often fall into the trap of seeking quick fixes, driven by the desire for immediate results, only to feel disheartened when they can't maintain them. We see this in areas such as health and finance. For example, someone looking to lose weight quickly might be tempted by extreme diets that promise results in just a few weeks. What they don't realize is that these methods are unsustainable and could ultimately do more harm than good. A balanced diet and healthy lifestyle require consistent effort over time, with patience and discipline. It's easy to see why people opt for quick fixes. It offers the hope of immediate change, even if temporary. The same applies to business. Many get-rich-quick courses promise immediate financial success to participants. But remember, rushing leads to failure. Success is not a destination you can reach after a few quick steps. It demands careful preparation, learning from failures, and progressing step by step. In life, we are often swept up in the illusion of quick fixes, only to realize that there are no shortcuts to lasting success. The most precious things in life require patience, time, and hard work. What matters most is not how quickly we achieve our goals, but the journey we persistently follow and the lessons we learn along the way. Number 9. The guilt that does not belong to us. Have you ever felt the weight of guilt pressing down on your soul, even when you knew it wasn't your fault? It's a complex feeling that many of us face, but Stoic philosophy teaches that we should not let guilt cloud our sense of self, especially when it doesn't truly belong to us. This guilt often arises from the expectations and judgments of others, causing us to feel burdened by things beyond our control or responsibility. Guilt often stems from trying to bear responsibilities that aren't ours to carry. You might have felt guilty for not being able to meet your family's expectations, for not living up to the standards of friends, or even for mistakes made by others. But is that guilt truly necessary when it's not tied to your own decisions or actions? A clear example in modern life is the guilt many parents carry when they feel they can't provide the perfect life for their children, as society expects. They torment themselves, believing they haven't done enough, despite economic conditions or other factors beyond their control. This guilt, if not released, leads to stress and insecurity, pulling them further away from joy and peace in life. Similarly, in personal relationships, many feel guilty when things don't go well, even after giving their best effort. They blame themselves when the other person isn't happy, or when the relationship doesn't progress as hoped. But the truth is, no one can control the emotions or actions of another. Stoic philosophy teaches us that our responsibility is to maintain our self-respect, live in alignment with our values, and not let unnecessary guilt dictate our lives. Life becomes much lighter when we learn to let go of guilt that doesn't belong to us. Only when we recognize our limits and release undeserved guilt can we find true freedom and peace within. Life is a long journey, and along the way, it's not just about knowing what to accept, but also about learning to reject what might erode our inner peace and values. Stoic philosophy teaches us that not every gift, piece of advice, or recognition from others is worth keeping. Indeed, knowing when to say no is also an art of living, helping us protect our minds from unnecessary and harmful influences. When we hold on to our self-control, we can face life with calm, wisdom, and solid inner strength. Don't let your mind and life be ruled by things that don't belong to you. Live true to your values and only hold on to what truly helps you grow and flourish. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button to support the channel. Share your thoughts in the comments and share this video with friends and family to spread the powerful values of Stoic philosophy. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future videos on living stoically.